Smashing. Hi, Gemma.
Hello there.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Thanks for doing this interview. This is our first one with the Blokes Losing Timber. So, you know, premiere video to go shooting out there. 10
Brilliant.
minutes.
I love it.
Telling us all about, you know, yourself and about Wild Apple Nutrition, which is your organisation, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. So my name is Gemma Westfold, and Wild Apple Nutrition is my business. I am a registered nutritional therapist with the regulatory body BANT, which is the British Association of Nutrition and Lifestyle Medicine. I trained for 4 years full-time to get my diploma in nutritional therapy. And what that means is, or what nutritional therapy is we look at chronic health concerns, but what we want to do is try and find the root cause of these chronic health concerns, such as, you know, high cholesterol or hypertension, diabetes. And once we have the root cause, we're able to put together a nutrition and lifestyle and maybe supplementation program to try to get towards better health there. We work with the medical profession as well. I must add that in. So we are not an alternative therapy, and I will always write to my client's GP with their permission.
Excellent. Yeah, people need that reassurance, don't they? They want to know that it's had the nod, had the tick in the box from the right place.
Absolutely.
So what are you passionate about? Why did you get involved in this?
Because of all of the poor information out there, really. So I grew up, or I was in my dieting years in the 90s and in the noughties, and we were told that to be healthy, you had to eliminate all fat, no fat whatsoever, no fat on your plate, nobody ate any fat. And what the food industries did with that was to make the food that they were making more palatable, they added in loads and loads of sugar. And since then, so many health concerns have taken off. Diabetes, the ones that I've mentioned, your LDL cholesterol, your hypertension, all of these problems, obesity, because of the added sugar. And this is not the correct message, and that's widely accepted now, but still in many health circles, you're advised to have low fat. So what I really want to do is educate people to not demonize fat, or not demonize carbohydrates as well, which is really, really popular at the moment. Not all carbohydrates, sugar's not great, but in moderation, and also to eat more protein. So I'm really passionate about the misinformation out there and how people genuinely think that they are following a really healthy diet because of what we've been told for so many years, but actually it's not doing their body any favors.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? We do things and we think, oh yeah, we're doing the right thing. We're not doing what we were doing before, so therefore we must be doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But it's that internal stuff, isn't it, that's going on that we don't really know about, that we can't see, that's hidden away, that then manifests over decades, really, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So you don't just tip into diabetes over one day. That has been going on for years.
So can you suggest 3 top tips that people can understand, you know, easily digest and take away with them?
Yeah, sure. One of them is to try and balance your blood sugar. So we don't want the real highs and lows of blood sugar, which is what you get if you have something very kind of sugary or high refined carbohydrate. One way to balance the blood sugar, or one quick win, is to have protein with every meal and every snack, because that will stop the absorption, or the quick absorption, of the sugar or the carbohydrate. So you've got to look at your plate and say, where's the protein? With everything that you have, think, where's the protein? Another tip is, and everybody will have heard this, but it's a really good reminder, sometimes hunger can be thirst. So please try to keep well hydrated, and that is 2 litres of water a day. So have water bottles and keep refilling that so that throughout the day you have those 2 litres. Tea and coffee don't count, I'm afraid, but herbal tea does.
Does it? Why does herbal tea count and the others don't, and normal tea doesn't?
Because it doesn't have the caffeine in it. So the caffeine can be what can dehydrate you. So you want hydrating fluids.
Right. So I remember one day going around to a friend's house, and he said, I said, I'd like, you know, he said, do you want a cup of tea? And then he said, do you want a cup of green tea or mint tea or whatever he said? And I went, yes. And he went outside and he picked a leaf of mint and put it in the thing. So
Oh, lovely.
it worked. It was mint tea. But in relation to the caffeine in normal tea as against the herbal teas, is that the same thing? So it's like using a mint rather than using the tea leaf, which has the caffeine in it.
Yeah, so you could use the fresh leaves, or you could use any herbal teas in the supermarket. Any herbal teas. The caffeine really is just in the black tea leaves. There is caffeine in green tea, however, the benefits of that completely outweigh it. So have that. And there are benefits in black tea as well. So drink your black tea, of course. There are loads of benefits in that. It's really good. But just don't count that as your 2 litres.
Right. 2 litres is a lot.
2 litres is a lot. So try to get up there by starting at least 1, going up to 1.5, and then aiming to get to 2 litres per day.
Right. Especially if you're small, because I'm thinking there's a lot of kids could benefit from this stuff, isn't there? I mean, they're going to struggle getting 2 litres. Is there
Kids aren't going to need 2 litres. Then you do it on size, and then you can quite easily go online and have a look. What's my weight?
Yeah.
How many litres will I need? There's lots of things there that can easily tell you how much you would need.
Right, great stuff. Okay, so I think we touched on your journey to this point, but what were the key drivers that brought you here?
And the key drivers that brought me here was my own health. So I have ME, or chronic fatigue syndrome, however it is, however people like to call it, and also IBS for years. And it wasn't until I saw a nutritional therapist and I was chatting to her and realised that all of the things that I thought I was doing right weren't right, really. And it was adding to my health complications. And then we found the root cause. So the root cause of my ME was glandular fever, and the root cause of my IBS was a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So once we got that, we were able to then really, really work on making that better, or getting into a much more fit state than I was before. Other key drivers are just my, as I said, the absolute passion to educate people about food.
Well, that's going to come from your own that experience, isn't it? You know, you had your own struggles with this, you had your own battles that you had to overcome, and that helped you go, wow, this is how I should be living.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, I found I could eat a lot more than I thought I could, so that was really, really great. It was quite nice and eye-opening. What
about wine? Does it allow you to have more wine?
With regards to alcohol, I would stick to the government's guidelines. I can't go any further than that. 14 units per week, at least 2 alcohol-free days.
Brilliant. So give us a couple of examples of people that you've helped, and you know, and how it's changed their world.
Sure. So I dealt with a lady who's in her 60s. She's a lovely lady, and she didn't want to do a 5-day food diary for me because she thought that her food was all right. That wasn't the problem. She really needed some supplements. So I get a 5-day food diary anyway. It's part of my intake process. And it did turn out that she was like one of the people who I'm discussing, and exactly like I was. She had a very high sugar diet. So it was cereal for breakfast, a cereal bar as a snack, a Miller Lite yogurt or something that was full of sugar. And her whole day was a massive up and down of sugar, but she thought it was healthy because these are the foods that we are told are healthy. Right. So we had a talk about her fatigue, and I wrote to her GP and requested a test for insulin resistance and or type 2 diabetes. And it turned out that she was insulin resistant. She was pre-diabetic, very close to the point of diabetes, which is why her energy was on the floor. So we changed her diet a lot. And with that, and with adding in loads of whole foods, she was able to, she came off acid blocking medication that she was on, which was brilliant. She had no more reflux, and she halved her ibuprofen for osteoarthritis, and her energy levels are just so much better. So that was a really great win.
Excellent stuff.
Just by looking for the root cause.
And this is it, isn't it? And if you know, if you've taught yourself or gone on courses and learn what to look for, these signs, then you can then, you know what direction of travel to go in, don't you? Or what you should be doing. Yeah.
And if we can, we test, don't guess, you know, and quite often these are tests that you're able to write to the GP and request.
Excellent. So what would you say is your USP? That's what they talk about in marketing, don't they? But
USP.
Do you have one, or, you know?
Yeah, I think it's trying to find the root cause, really, the detective work that goes to, okay, you've got this, but why have you got this? Because you didn't just wake up with it. You know, you've got high cholesterol. Why have you got this? What's going on? How is this happening? Is it diet related? Where's it coming from? So it's really that, yeah. The detective work. So how can people find out more about you, Gemma? They can, hopefully you're going to put a link to my website on this, John, so they can follow that, and they can also follow me on Instagram.
Say it in words.
It's okay. www.wildapplenutrition.co.uk. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook on the handle Wild Apple Nutrition Limited Ltd. And yes, there we go. And you can get signed up for my newsletter, and I can give you, I don't spam people, so don't worry about that. And I just give monthly newsletters with some quick wins on the health concerns that we've been discussing, really.
Excellent. So what would you like listeners to take away from this video?
That if they do have a chronic health concern, or if they're worried about it, because we do prevention as well, so nutritional therapists look at prevention as well. There are lots of things we can do. Lots of things are reversible if you're willing to put in the time with diet. The changes do not need to be life-changing. I would want you to be able to socialize still with this eating plan. You feed the whole family with the same thing, you know, even the picky kids, you know, it's a lifestyle. So that's what I'd want them to take away.
Excellent.
It's not difficult, but you do need that motivation.
Yeah, you've got to have the driver to change. You've got to want to change and make those small changes to make a big difference. Brilliant.
Exactly.
So I'm looking for the video board now. Where's that gone?
You're asking the wrong person.
This technology stuff. Right. Well, I'm going to. Oh, there we go. Stop recording. Brilliant. Thanks, Gemma. That was excellent. Thanks for being the first one. Cheers.
Oh, you're welcome. I've been looking forward to it, to be honest, Jem. So I've got this friend as well who'd like to speak to you.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I'll stop recording first. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's about work.